58% of Ghanaians believe the country is headed for the right direction. Tonight, we'll give you details of a survey carried out by the Public Policy Institute. And later on Eyewitness News, Attorney General Minister of Justice hopeful about former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's return to Ghana.
No, I don't control what happens with the Justice Department in the US. So,
but are you hopeful that this will go through for Ken to come back to Ghana?
I am very hopeful, extremely hopeful.
Stay with 97.3 Citi FM on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Later coming up in business.
Unemployment and informal work linked to rise in multidimensional poverty.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliates across the country, around the globe. You're on citinewsroom.com. Talking about affiliates.
In the Western region, we are Dream Power 100.7 FM in Takwa, Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. In the Bono region, we are Green at 95.9 FM in Sunyai. Moving to the Ashanti region, we are Dream Power 99.9 FM in Inkarie. In the Volta region, Heritage 107.3 FM in Hogwe and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sugakope. In the northern region, Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. Moving to the upper east region, we are Quality 88.7 FM in Garu and Bolga 102.7 FM in Bolgatanga. In the northeast region, we are Nobia FM 98.1 FM in Nalerigo. And finally, in the upper west region, we are Pupali 92.7 FM in Wa.
You can join the conversation with your WhatsApp messages. The number is 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Let's go to our first story now. And just a while ago, Star Oil Limited, one of the oil marketing companies in the country, issued a statement announcing its suspension from membership of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. And the statement says, I write formally to inform the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies of Star Oil's decision to suspend its membership of the Chamber with immediate effect and for an indefinite period. The decision has been taken lightly. Star Oil has over the years been committed and responsible member of COMAC and is currently the largest financial contributor to the Chamber. We have consistently supported the Chamber's activity and believe that COMAC exists fairly, represents the collective interests of its members while allowing space for diverse, well-informed and intentioned views on matters of policy and regulation. However, recent developments have compelled us to reassess the value of our continued membership. In particular, Star Oil is deeply concerned that despite our significant contribution to the Chamber, our perspective, especially on critical industry issues, are neither adequately acknowledged nor fairly communicated. A clear and recent example relates to the public discussion by the Chief Executive Officer of COMAC across several media platforms concerning the petroleum price floor. As you are aware, Star Oil has proposed that the price floor be scrapped. Unfortunately, in the public engagement, the rationale behind Star Oil's position has been clearly articulated or explained by the Chamber in recent discussion. Let's go to the phone line and speak to the CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Riverson Opon, on this matter. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Just quickly, have you seen this letter from Star Oil?
Oh, sure. Once you've seen it, I've also seen it.
Okay, what do you make of the number of issues they raised in here?
I mean, the issues have been on the table for discussion the whole of this week, and I believe even at your end, you have been discussing it. Other social media networks are also discussing it. What we have been saying is that from today, tomorrow, the Chamber organized meetings with the sub-board committee, which was successful. The outcome of the meeting now is going to be tabled on towards the board. That's the board of directors of the Chamber. And let me clarify this. The Chamber, like you have seen, is made up of the same oil marketing companies and LPG marketing companies. So the decision making is not unilateral. Even the board chairman cannot just take a decision for the whole board. and for the entire industry. That is why these internal meetings are very, very important. And until we come up tomorrow with a decision which will be given to MPA for discussion, we are saying that yes, there are challenges with the implementation of the floor price, but the purpose for which it was enacted is very relevant still to the industry. That's all we are saying. But the issues around the challenges around implementation, being sometimes unfair or whatever you want to put it, are things we have tabled towards our board tomorrow for onward submission to MPA.
And so this is a matter you already raised as far as the board is concerned and in your meeting.
Oh yes.
But is that you aware that you've raised this matter already?
Yes, I'm sure he is, because he is a board member. Until today, this letter has come. In fact, he's not just a board member; he is a vice board chairman of the chamber.
But then, when you read critically his letter, he raises a number of issues, and with your permission, I read a few. He says, as you are aware, and I'm quoting the letter, Star has proposed that the price floor be scrapped. Unfortunately, in the public engagement, the rationale behind Star Oil's position has not been clearly articulated or explained by the chamber in its discussion. Is it that the chamber is not interested with the matter Star Oil CEO raised, and that the chamber does not want to articulate it well for the entire group? Because this is the accusation.
No, I don't understand what that statement means. That the chamber is not articulating Star Oil's position. Star Oil position was clear. It was a statement on social media. You and I read it. That we should scrap floor price so that he can price further down. That's the statement he made. All right. So that's what I'm saying. That yes, we understand where it's coming from, and the challenges that are associated with the floor price, especially for other OMCs who are pricing lower than the floor price, should be an action by regulation. And that's all the items we have put. In fact, the chamber wrote a letter to MPA in December, warning MPA that the floor price implementation is not achieved. That letter has also been out in the social media space. So where did the chamber go wrong in advocating for the industry to make sure that the implementation of the floor price be unilateral?
Star Oil says that it is currently the largest financial contributor to the chamber, and if you have a larger contributor like Star Oil leaving the chamber, what makes of the chamber?
Oh, the chamber is like you know is the association of oil marketing companies in perspective. So Star Oil is the largest because is the largest retail marketing company. So if you are paying dues based on the volumes, it means that once you lift more, you pay more. So that statement is true. You understand what I mean? So it's like the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. The tier 1 members of the chamber pays more than the tier 2. And it's not just because of any reason that you lift more than others. You get my point?
No, couldn't this matter be resolved in amicably without
we are not putting this letter out to the public because when the letter came, even my own board chairman told me not to share with the entire board yet because he was talking to start to reconsider, only to be seen that the letter is out. So we have been trying to work out amicably. Remember this: the chamber stands for an industry. And it's very difficult to take a stand when members are fighting. And yesterday I mentioned this on Joy. This goes beyond the social media banter between Star and Goy. And for me, as an industry person, this was long expected in a highly competitive market like this. You know, when there's high competition, some of these things happen. What is the role of the chamber here? To bring fair and healthy competition among its members or even the industry players. Today, there are people who are not necessarily members of the chamber by virtue of not paying dues that we still fight an industry fight for, and they benefit from it. this will not make us fight for the industry, which will benefit Star Oil going forward.
What do you intend to do now? Is it, or would there be any move to get them to rescind this decision?
Oh yes, for sure. We will have engagement with Star Oil, no doubt. There are procedure in place. The board chairman has put in place to engage Star to reconsider. At the end of the day, that's the reason why the board was set. So the CEO or even the board chairman himself will not unilaterally take a decision for the industry without consultation. It's not easy managing 200 plus companies with individual interest. That is very, very important here. You need to look at the whole industry and make sure that everybody is satisfied. And our interest might be at loggerheads, but it doesn't make us enemies. We see what is happening between Star and Gore. And like I said, it was long overdue, it was long expected, but we believe that after this price war between them, things will come back to I would say stand.
Doc, is the chamber in support of this call for the scrap of this price floor?
It is too premature to say. So like I said, today we have made a lot of requests from the board subcommittee to the board. So tomorrow by this time I'll be able to answer this question.
But is there a division between members of the chamber in respect of this particular?
No, there's no division. There's no division. I can tell you boldly that there's no division.
Because you said there's no division. We've seen exchange of words or exchange of text between the CEO of Gore and Star Oil over this same issue. And so clearly there's a clear division even within the chamber. Do not confuse the war between the two giants, all right, and the chamber's perspective. All right, the chamber is not made up of only two members. All right, so the top two fights is expected in every industry. I mean, go to any setup, right? When Total and Shell were the top two, did you see any fight between Total and Shell? You understand what I mean? So we are happy that a local company today is the number one leading company. No, don't get me wrong. Everybody will be happy. No, don't get me wrong. But when there's a fight on price, it is one of the major driving forces for market surge. So this is expected. And this has nothing to do with what the chamber decision is. The board chairman has asked the two CEOs to cease fire, and that is also publicly out. So by tomorrow we should have a resolution to this matter. Is it possible? Like I said already, tomorrow we are having a board meeting on it, and we'll take a decision. I personally wish that Star Oil hadn't left the chamber and come and represent his interests at the board so that we all take a decision. But now you have left. If you take a decision, I'm sure you're going to say it's not part of the decision making. Doc, thank you very much for your time. Dr. Revisonopo is the CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Let's get a perspective of consumers. And Duncan Amo, Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, also joins us on the telephone to speak on this matter. Duncan, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you've seen this letter. As a consumer yourself and a chamber representing consumers, should we be worried?
Let me say good evening to you and, of course, to your listeners. We shouldn't have gotten here at all. The elephant in the room is an elephant that the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, African Center for Energy Policy, and other like-minded civil societies raised objections to this whole price floor conversation in 2024 when it was introduced. We raised objections in protest due largely to the fact that it bodes no benefit whatsoever to the consumer. Again, it is also a disincentive to the deregulation program that Ghana had signed on to. Let me take us back a bit. In 2015, before July 1st, 2015, Ghana was, your fuel prices were largely regulated by government. And so we had a subsidy program, which meant that the government would announce fuel prices during budget readings and force the market to sell at those prices. And then when there are overruns or debts created, what we came to then call legacy debts, which is subsidies that the government should have given the industry and it doesn't give to the BDC and everybody else involved. Then we create those debts. So government took a decision then that it wasn't going to continue with a subsidy program. So let's go to a full price deregulation regime. What that meant was that you bring your product, right? There's full cost recovery allowed. And then your margins are also allowed, of course, together with the taxes that the state also requires. So 3 key components. If you enter this deregulation phase, government no longer accumulates debts, okay, because there's no subsidy. So the market is liberal. It's just like the tomato market. Government will not go to the market and say that 3 pieces of tomato due to economic indicators and that we don't want to cheat farmers or we don't want this to be happy or unhappy. So everybody should sell 3 pieces of tomato for 10 cedis. You now open the market up for competition, right? And I must state, at the start of this competition, Star Oil was nowhere near number 1. No. It was nowhere near the dominant OMC. At a point, from where I sit, I was even worried that they will collapse because they had decided post-COVID to just go with the consumer by delivering very low and efficient prices. So we were scared that maybe they won't be sustainable. They have proved all the doubters wrong over the period. And the Ghanaian consumers seem to have gone with them, clearly. That they are doing something very fantastic with their prices. Their quality has not also been questioned. So clearly they are delivering on quality and on price. We have gone through a price deregulation program since 2015, July 1st. There has been no issue whatsoever. You wake up in 2024, then the NPA says, we need to introduce a price floor, which for us is a barrier, a trade barrier, right? You are simply interested in those selling at lower prices, right? At the same time, you are not interested in the price ceiling. Okay, there have been windows that we have been quite sure in our minds that some of the OMCs were overpriced, and that was of no concern to the NPA. But those that have decided to come down, they are rather interested in those who decide to go down further to benefit the consumer for which we represent. And so we said no. That policy is dead at bed. Dead because you are asking for competition from the market. You are asking the various OMCs to, get their products from the cleanest sources, from the leanest sources. They should be efficient in their prices, efficient in their operations, so that they can deliver efficient prices at the pumps to the truck driver, who also depends on this fuel to be able to get to work every day, to the average Ghanaian. Then you at the same time come back to say that you are putting a price barrier, okay? You should not go below it. And the excuses that have been made, let me reiterate 2 of them, is that if you allow or if you don't put the price floor, some people are bringing bad products or illegal products into the market. And if you don't set the floor, those people can sell below a certain threshold and then they will collapse the market. So I have said, without the price floor before 2024, was anybody collapsing in the market? With the price floor now, almost 2 years now, have we been able to get rid of the bad products, so-called, that we have on the market.
But is it possible for the NPA to take this price floor off? Is it possible?
Sammy, I have enumerated this between 2015, July 1st, when we entered the price deregulation program, and May 2024. There was no price floor. The market was working. There were no shortages whatsoever on record. I've been in this seat for all these years. I've not gone anywhere. There were no issues. We went to bring an issue to say that, oh, we need a floor so that we can protect some of the oil marketing companies. The NPA should also think of protecting the consumer, because at the end of the day, without the consumer, no oil marketing company has any business. Without the consumer, no ADC has any business. And again, when you read Star Oil's letter that you just went through, the price floor situation was even proposed to the BDCs. They said, no, they don't want it. Leave them. Because when they sell their products, you don't go with them. What they pay to their suppliers, you don't do the negotiations with them. So, you will come and put a price floor of 5.6. Somebody is able to negotiate better with maybe one of the suppliers and get 5.4. The person wants to be able to sell off quickly, pay the supplier, and get the little margins he has. Maybe they are not interested in the super profit. Then you say, no, it is 5.6, you must sell it. Whose interest are you serving, Sammy? I have indicated. There was no price floor, there was no problem. Then we decided we should put a price floor. The BDC said no. You took it off. And you left it with the OMPs to say that for you, we would calculate something and you should not go below that. Look, the other argument is this, Sammy. If I go to get bad products and I could have sold it for 8 cedis, okay, it should not come onto the market. The NPA should be able to block it. But they won't block it. If I bring it to the market and I want to sell it for, let's say, 6 cedis or 7 cedis, okay, because they won't block it, then the NPA says, no, sell it for 9 cedis 80. So the person that you thought was bringing bad product to sell for 6 cedis, you are saying, no, he can only sell it at 9 cedis 80. You are only allowing them to increase profit. It's as simple as that.
The chamber says they are having a meeting with the NPA, God willing, tomorrow to address this matter. Is there expectation that something positive will come out of this meeting?
They can sit together. They can decide to play their own game. But the Ghanaian consumer will not be hoodwinked at all. There has not been any problem. We didn't need any price floor. If they wanted to bring anything, it should have been a price ceiling. That says that, look, some of you are charging too much. Look, the difference between two OMCs, if you look at the lower price OMCs and the higher price OMC, it's usually more than 1 Ghana cedi, right? Is the NPA saying that those charging 1 cedi more, almost 2 cedi more, they are doing the right thing and they don't need a ceiling? But those that say that, look, we can go down on prices so as to benefit the entire Ghanaian population. I think Star Oil is being victimized for a position that we have expressed at the outset of this price floor. ASEP expressed the same position at the outset. They said, no, don't bring this. You are coming to collapse the oil companies from competing fairly. So one last point.
Hold on. You think Star Oil is being victimized because they came up with that position? Is yes, victimization?
The conversation has not been fair on their brand altogether. In fact, I have not been one of those who defend Star Oil at all. I don't. They are a private entity. When they do the right thing, we commend them. But for them to have rehashed something we said 2 years ago in 2024, only for others to descend on them, to make it seem as though it was coming from a selfish point, for me, it's unfortunate, because what they are saying is the truth. So and let me rehash this.
Okay.
If I were an OMC, just one last point, right? I bought product from Newsroom. I bought $10 million worth of product from you, right? At the time, I needed to convert to the dollar at 12. So I needed 120 million Ghana cedi to be able to pay for the 10 million cargo that you have given me. Due to some market constraints, I'm unable to sell the product, right? I gave you, Sammy, 2-3 months to pay you off.
Okay.
I am in the second, third month, Sammy. I have not been able to clear out my cargo, the product you gave me at 10 million. But when I check with the BOG or the interbank, the Citi is now trading at 10.2, 10.4. It means that the 120 million that I required a month or two ago,
okay,
I will no longer require 120 million. Am I right?
Okay.
I will now need about 104 million. There's a variance or a gap of 16 million savings that I'll be making.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I've not sold the product. I mean, you need your money.
Okay, Duncan. Just let me land. The point is well made. Duncan, thank you very much.
So allow me to sell and pass on the 16 million that I'm saving. You say no. You have put a price floor.
Okay, all right.
Whose interest are you serving?
Duncan, thank you very much for your time. Duncan Amoah is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's go to the American Embassy now, because the embassy has put out a post on its social media handle announcing that the embassy in Accra has opened thousands of additional non-immigrant visa appointments. Dates are many available now. The embassy in Accra continues to process non-migrant migrant visas application. Let's go to the line and speak to Matthew Asada. He's a press attaché at the U.S. Embassy here in Ghana. Matthew, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Could you explain this particular post on your social media handles?
Yes, good evening, Sammy. It's a pleasure to be with you here this evening, and happy to talk about what we're doing at the U.S. Embassy here in Accra to support Ghana's participation in the 2026 World Cup. We're really excited about hosting this tournament along with Canada and Mexico for what's going to be the largest World Cup ever. And to ensure that we have enough officers on the ground to adjudicate all of these visa applications around the world, the Department of State has already sent 450 consular officers to different embassies and consulates. And now that Ghana's qualified and that we know that they're going to be playing in Toronto, Boston, and Philadelphia, we've opened up thousands of additional non-immigrant visa appointment slots here at Embassy Accra, with availability as early as this week. So it's really exciting that this surge in officers is taking place in Ghana. We have more than half a dozen foreign service officers who arrived this week, and we will continue to add visa appointments to meet demand for these non-immigrant visa categories.
But these arrangements only apply to B1, B2 visa applicants traveling to the World Cup?
No, these appointments are for any non-immigrant visa travelers. So if you're going on a B1, B2 and you want to go and visit, or if it's for the World Cup, or if it's to visit a family member, or if it's for a business meeting, these new appointments are available for any non-immigrant visa. And we encourage folks to go to that website, www.usvisaappointment.com, to take a look to see when they might be able to schedule their next appointment.
What are the specific documentation? So first, if I'm going for the World Cup, what are the specific documents that I need to present during this engagement or appearance at the embassy for my interview?
Well, let me just take a step back, Sammy, and say that for any visa appointment, it's important that the person that is applying have the materials to explain to the officer about what they're doing, their intended purpose of travel. So if they're going for a concert, if they're going for the World Cup, or they're going for a business meeting, they need to have the requisite documents to be able to explain that if asked to produce something further. But specifically for the World Cup visitors, I also want to highlight something that is not yet finalized, but it will be coming here shortly, and we'll have more information about that soon. It's called the FIFA Pass. It's called the FIFA Prioritized Appointment Scheduling System. And this will ensure that any non-immigrant visa applicant with a vetted FIFA 2026 World Cup ticket holder is able to get an appointment before the World Cup itself. So that's a separate system that we'll be telling you a little bit more about here in the future. But what I want to focus on today is that we have visa appointments for non-immigrant visa categories available now.
And how long will this process be? Do you have a specific period of time?
Well, we just had these officers arrive, this week to help us out, and we're working to ensure that we can meet the demand for visas for whatever type of non-immigrant visa that we have for folks traveling for tourism and business purposes. And so again, we've just started this. We've already released visa appointments this week and next week. We're going to continue to release that in batches. It's part of our commitment to ensure a successful tournament.
I've heard people and some of my friends say that they've made application and yet their dates are somewhere a year or two away. With this process that you've introduced, does it mean their dates will come earlier than the usual, delay in getting a date?
So, Sammy, the beauty of this system that we have is that, applicants can go in and they can check to see what the next available appointment is. And there's a way in the system that if, for instance, you have a date and that date no longer works, you're able to reschedule it within the system. So we always encourage folks to look at the system to see what the next available appointment is today. And again, if the one that they had scheduled previously, if that date and time no longer work for them, should go back into the system to see if there's something that might be more suitable.
Matthew, thank you very much for your time. Matthew Asada is the press attaché at the U.S. Embassy here in Accra. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. For fast and more stories.
Yes, let's take you to Parliament because the majority has rejected calls by the minority for the dismissal of the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, describing the demand as unjustified. Speaking at a press conference earlier today, Chairman of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Alfred Okuvandapoi, said concerns over immigrant visa processing and related diplomatic issues do not warrant the minister's removal.
A decision by the U.S., by the President of the United States. How do we hold our minister, Foreign Affairs Minister, responsible for that decision? This is a Foreign Affairs Minister who has been very active on the international front with our partners on issues about creating jobs, attracting investors to this country. Myself, I have joined him. We went to China, we went to other countries about attracting investors into this country. And it's bearing fruit. It's yielding results. And so if US have made a decision on immigrant visa, we cannot hold our Foreign Affairs Minister responsible for that.
He further noted that issues raised by the minority on the Euro are being handled by the Office of the Attorney General and should not be used against the Foreign Affairs Minister.
That his attitude or his may have caused that, please. And then the issue on ORA, that is a matter for the Attorney General to deal with. And Attorney General has come out, the process is ongoing. ORA activities for Honorable Abraka was before government, before NDC came to office. So all matters have been referred to the Attorney General, So if Honorable Abraka says something with respect to 21 billion, it will see the light of day in the courts.
That was the Chairman of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Alfred Okuvandapoi.
That's all listening to Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. A few of your WhatsApp messages. Withdrawing Star Oil from the chamber will reduce competition, drive up fuel prices and risk supply disruption. Consumers could face fewer choices, poor services and potential job losses in local communities. Retaining Star Oil protects affordability, reliability and market fairness for Ghanaians. This is coming from Wales Yago in Ho West constituency. In as much as we are happy with fuel prices coming down, we also want to plead for sanity in the system so Ghanaians can continue to enjoy the hard work of President John Dramani Mahama. Jones Adoboy in La. Good evening. Ken must come to Ghana and present Ghanaians clearly why he doesn't just want to come back to this country. This coming from Isaac in the Upper West Region. Isaac, this is a story we are treating next after the break. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. You can still send your WhatsApp messages. The number is 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we hear from the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, who is hopeful about former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's return to Ghana.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. And what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, Andrea, challenge these days, new level crowd. Where did you pass?
Me, pass somewhere. I just switched for a better life. Hey. I switched for comfort. Look, your salary deserves better.
Switch?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I switched my salary account to Fidelity Bank. Oh, okay. And that's my jackpot. I get higher loan amounts with lower interest rates, as well as personalized financial support. They gave me a loan to expand my side hustle, and the terms are just flexible.
Wow.
Your salary deserves better.
Oh, my salary deserves better. You see the way you are smiling wide? Yes, I will switch and smile wider.
Your salary deserves better. Switch to Fidelity Bank today and enjoy lower interest rate, car and home loan, personalized financial support, and a smile that lasts. Switch and smile wider. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I on your side, Fidelity.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Now, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dominic Ayine, has expressed optimism that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will return to Ghana, even as the United States continue to review the legal processes surrounding his case. Speaking to journalists here in Accra, Mr. Ayine said he had monitored the recent immigration hearing, but could not disclose confidential discussions with the U.S. authorities.
Well, the American authorities are handling the process, and they are handling it in accordance with American law. So far, I don't find anything wrong with what has taken place. As you rightly pointed out, I monitored the hearing yesterday, and I have had reports from the United States regarding what has happened and what may happen, but these are confidential discussions, and I'm not supposed to talk to the media about what they have briefed me on.
But yesterday the trial judge said something. He said there's no proof of any extradition request, and that it should be filed by the federal government before February 19. What is your own thoughts on that?
No, the Justice Department is working on the extradition request. Now, you have to understand that what is happening now is in relation to immigration immigration law violations. All right, that is separate and distinct from the extradition request. And so if it was put in before the immigration judge that there's an extradition request, he wants a formal, filing before him. So the Justice Department would have to do that before a decision is taken.
When will that happen based on your contact?
No, I don't control what happens with the Justice Department in the US. So,
but are you hopeful that this will go through for Ken to come back to Ghana?
I am very hopeful, extremely hopeful. Thank you.
You heard Ghana's Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dominic Ayine. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Fan David. He's one of the lawyers for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the former Minister of Finance. Mr. David, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm very sure that yesterday you monitored proceedings when your client appeared before the court in the USA. Your general impression, sir?
Good evening to your esteemed viewers and cherished listeners. Yes, I observed proceedings until the link was disabled. And we all saw what happened up until that point. At the end of it, the conclusion was that the matter had been adjourned to the 27th of April for a continuation. So that is all that was evident as of yesterday. So the judge, David Gadi, has adjourned the ATA hearing, which commenced yesterday or last night, to the 27th of April for continuation.
We are told that he will be in the ICE custody until the next hearing. Is that the case, sir?
Well, it is contingent on many factors. Aside of what has been put in the public domain, there was also the aspect that to do with the bond application, the bond hearing application. Bond application in the United States is our bail application in our criminal justice system there. So the law is putting an application for him to be released on bail, pending the 27th of April continued hearing. Now the state authorities raised an objection that there was an extradition request on behalf of the government of Ghana for Ken Ofori-Atta. At that stage, the judge remarked that he was not interested in saying so. He wanted proof of the extradition request, and the state authorities at the time did not have it. The judge was then compelled to also adjourn that bond application hearing to the 19th of February. The state authorities have been given 30 days to make available extracts or copies of the extradition request. And then on the 15th of February, the judge will make a determination one way or the other whether Kenneth will be released on bail or he will continue to be in the detention facility.
Yes. So help us here. There are two cases here at the moment. One for the 19th, which is for the bond, and then the 27th one, which has to do with the immigration issue.
Immigration hearing, yeah.
So there are two different issues now.
No, but the bond application is linked to the immigration hearing because he is being in custody for some time now. So if the hearing has commenced and there's, but these things are all in context. When you put a bond application, the factors which are taken into consideration by all judges in the American immigration law system are three. One, that when you are released on bail, you will not be a flight risk. The second is whether or not you pose a threat to the community in which you are residing. And the third is whether you are able, ready, willing, and prepared to post the bond in the amount settled, the amount which is placed on the billboard, if you are able to settle it. Those are the conditions. So the bail application arose out of the adjourned date to the 27th of April. which of course you will admit is quite long. From January to April is a long group. So the bail application was put in. So that will be determined on the 19th, before the 27th, when the hearing would continue.
What is I'm here. What is the collaboration between the lawyers here in Ghana and then the lawyers in the United States of America handling this matter? What is the collaboration there?
If there was no collaboration there, I'll not be talking to you. If there was no collaboration between us, the lawyers here in Ghana and our counterpart lawyers in America, I will not be talking to you, because the briefing I'm giving you is not just on what was on the training yesterday. Because as of yesterday, you didn't know there was any bond here in application, did you? Yeah, so that information was fed us by our counterpart lawyers. So there is an active collaboration between us.
So on the 27th of April, when the case resumes, what should be the expectation, sir?
I don't talk into the future. I only talk into the present. Let us all keep our fingers crossed and wait for the 27th and see what will happen. And essentially, it is whether or not his immigration status will be adjusted based upon the petition or application he has made, or whether he will be removed from America and deported to Ghana. So let's wait.
The Attorney General Minister of Justice says he's very hopeful that he will definitely come back to Ghana.
Well, hope is hope. Or I don't speak for the Attorney General. I'm not his spokesperson. I don't work for his offices. But I thought the Attorney General said once upon a time on another media outlet or whatever that he was very, very confident and very, very hopeful that Ken Ofori-Atta will be brought on the next flight to Ghana on the 20th of January, or at the most on the 31st of January. If he is saying that he's optimistic and hopeful, Kenneth is coming. He is speaking as Attorney General. I am also speaking as lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. When the chips fall, we'll see. But I mean, if the matter has been adjourned to the 27th of April, what is the optimism that Ken Ofori-Atta will be deported to this country before the 27th? No, let us just pay fidelity to the facts and issues surrounding this matter. Nobody is saying that Ken should not face criminal justice. I mean, if he has questions to answer, he will answer. But don't let us be jumping over ourselves and throwing things haphazardly into the public domain, and as if Ken's coming or not coming is something which is so unique, or something which is so strange. I mean, come on. I mean, once upon a time, there was this thing about hearing trial in absentia. Why? So, Teddy Tamako, who ran away from the jurisdiction when she was facing trial, and she don't come back, but she not tried in absentia. Ken has not been tried. He's not even going to court to say a word. And then everybody, so there's so much fetish about him as a word. I mean, let us wait. The legal process in America respects due process, okay? And we should also respect due process. The matter starts again to the 27th. So when the Attorney General comes to say that he is optimistic that Ken is going to come very soon, and then by the 27th of April, he's not here, what again is he going to tell that? I don't think these things are necessary. I know what is all this concept. We should all be cautious about the things we say. If now he's saying he's very hopeful, he's optimistic, he's going to come very soon. Going to come very soon when? So when he said that Ken was going to come on the next flight on the 20th of January or by the 31st of July, he didn't know what he was talking about. Let us stop this gimmickry. The matter stands against the 27th of April. We are all lawyers. How can you truncate that process? Meanwhile, the extradition proceedings are separate and distinct from the immigration hearing. So how do you pull me to the truth? I think the General should be telling us something better than all this press stories saying things. I mean, always meeting the press and saying things that are not supposed to be said. I mean, come on. I think we should all stick to our training. That matter stands against to the 27th of April. You are aware. So, what again is there to say?
Mr. David, once the issue is ongoing in the U.S., there's a group also protesting at the U.S. Embassy, Arise Ghana, demanding the immediate return of Mr. Ofori-Atta. I'm sure you've heard about this protest. We started yesterday. It's continuing today. We are told that they'll be there for the next 14 days, or in a quest to see Mr. Ofori-Atta back home for accountability. I'm sure you've seen this report, heard about it. What do you make of it, sir?
It is their freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom of speech. So if they want to be running around the streets of cantonment holding placards and banners with invectives which are unbecoming of the Ghanaian culture, they should go ahead. But what is that intended to achieve? That because they are picketing at the U.S. embassy, the U.S. government will just tomorrow throw Ken to Ghana. We should stop some of these things, though. We should always stick. When we say we're a country of due process and rule of law, we should play the lines. I mean, I can't stop them from picketing or demonstrating. It's their fundamental right. So if they are choosing to wear red t-shirts and berets and be running around with banners and placards, I mean, so be it. But all I'm saying is that Ken should not be condemned in the court of public opinion. He has not been to court to even say a word. As I speak to you today, he's not even been notified of the charges he pled against him. He has to face trial. And when that time comes, Ken will speak. So, saying people are, but I ask you a question. When you have the opportunity to talk to this Arise Ghana people, let them answer this simple question. We were told by Ambassador Smith that there will be an extradition proceeding for Ferdinand Tamaklo today. She has been tried, convicted by a criminal court of competent jurisdiction as having stolen money from the state. Stolen money from the state. Not an alleged offense. She has been tried and convicted of stealing and embezzling funds belonging to the state. Arise Ghana, they are not interested to go and picket at the American embassy for Ferdinand to be brought. But they want to picket for Ken to be brought.
Sir Davis, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Frank Davis is one of the lawyers for Ken Ofori-Atta, former Minister of Finance of Ghana. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Fafa.
Well, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu has announced plans to redevelop the Bend section of the VVIP station at Kwame Nkrumah Circle into a modern market. The fire destroyed over 50 shops, with authorities citing congestion as a major factor that hindered firefighting efforts. During a visit to the site, Linda Oklu warned traders against rebuilding, stressing the need for a well-planned facility.
In fact, the last time we came, they share boundaries with VVIP, and the VVIP claim that they have portion of the lands that belongs to them. So they want to develop the place, and they recall them, but not that we are even sacking, they are sacking them. I mean, when they brought their petition, you look at it, we want to engage the trader, and so that we allow the developers to work, to develop the place properly, so that we can trade, I mean, nicely with a serene environment. And so we are calling on them, I mean, circle, please, the traders around, please help us so that we can also what? We can also help you. Allow the assembly to develop the place. Please, we don't want any interference. For your own good, allow them to develop the place, and so that after developing, there will be pockets of stores here that everybody, I mean, they have the list of people that trade here. At the end of the day, the stores will be enough to accommodate everybody.
She also disclosed that over 50 gas cylinders were retrieved from the debris after the fire outbreak.
There was a time we asked the assembly to decongest the place because we noticed that there's a lot of activities ongoing here. Yesterday when we came, we noticed there was a chop bar here. At the same time, they have, aside the chop bar, they have this drinking spots, and a whole lot of people sleep here, they use here as their abode. And so we noticed that some of them even have gas. Yesterday they were able to retrieve more than 50 gas cylinders. And so we keep on asking, for how long are we going to sit to wait for this? Yesterday I asked my market women, because at the end of the day, when we talk to them and they don't listen, we said, yes, this is where you do everything, you trade here till in the evening. We cannot prevent you from cooking here, but take precautions. After cooking, make sure that whatever the fire you use, make sure that you off the gas, take off the cylinder head, and so that you can know that you are safe. And so we'll keep on advising the traders.
You are the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu. Now, away from that, President John Dramani Mahama is expected to lead discussions on the Accra Reset Initiative at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland tomorrow. This is part of efforts to reimagine international cooperation and strengthen sovereign capacity among countries of the Global South. According to a statement from the presidency, the initiative is coming at a period marked by intensifying great power rivalries, the collapse of the global aid narrative, unprecedented trade tensions, and the crisis of climate shocks, cost of living, pandemics, and conflicts. Several heads of state are expected to attend the side event, including presidents of Egypt, Kenya, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, has welcomed the verdict of the Kede District Court. The court fined 4 students a total of 15,200 Ghana cedis for assaulting a teacher at Kede Senior High School and Technical. Eastern Regional Chairman of NAGRAT, Godwin Awonoyevu, said the ruling will serve as a warning to others.
NAGRAT, we will say we are okay with the judgment that came. It will serve as a deterrent to other students, so that they will also not be found wanting in the same suit. Looking at the 2 weeks remand for the student to their town prison is enough. And also per the judgment, giving them 12 months to sign a bond to be of good behavior is also a welcoming news. And then the fine to the court of 1,008, and then the compensation of the 2,000 or so to the victim, the teacher, is also okay. And then I think it will serve as a deterrent to other students to also take a cue from it.
He also urged school authorities to put in place effective mechanisms for students to properly channel complaints when necessary.
Most of the school management, they have their doors open where they always listen to students give answers. So we are hoping that at least management will put in place some of these measures where students can easily go in there and then give out whatever problems that they are also going through in terms of encountering with other teachers. The children are our children as well. And therefore no teacher will even do anything that will damage or maybe have a body inflicted wounds or whatever it is on the student. No. But sometimes maybe when it happens that the teacher goes beyond what he is not supposed to, there's a way of addressing those grievances. The advice is that students should be law abiding, and then teachers should also always advise the students to be of good behavior.
Godwin Awonoyevu is the Eastern Regional Chairman of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel where I change. One shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car, they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. booster. And what they boss my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Imagine making or collecting all payments without leaving your chair. Sounds like magic, right? Nah, it's Stanbic Pay.
As the Chief Financial Director of SBA Holdings Limited, payments from clients flow like magic through Stanbic Pay.
From school fees to utilities, government and statutory payment to investment, insurance payment, Hajj payment, and more. Just log on to Stanbic Pay and you're set for life. No Stanbic account, no queues, no stress, no last-minute panic.
Cherish your time and live happier in safety and convenience.
Just visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call 030-340-9212 or 055-676-0683 to get started.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's do Citi Business News now. Latest figures from the Ghana Statistical Service indicate that households headed by unemployed Ghanaians continue to face the highest levels of poverty. In the third quarter of 2025, 35.6% of such households were classified as living in deep poverty, up from 31.9% in the previous quarter. Presenting the findings at a press briefing, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu said the data further shows that poverty affects households headed by workers in the private informal sector at a rate of around 22%, while households led by public sector employees experience a significantly lower rate of 5.3%.
So if you want poverty reduction that lasts, education remains very central. Now let's look at employment and how it affects poverty. The data shows that employment type matters a lot. Households headed by the unemployed actually recorded the highest poverty, reaching 35.6% in quarter 3 of 2025 from 31.9% in quarter 2. So those who are not working, the poverty rates are very high. We are talking about 35.6% in quarter 3. If you compare this to those who are in the private informal sector, they also recorded very high poverty rates, but they were below. That's around 22%.
You heard government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu. Away from that, government has ruled out the introduction of price controls despite recent improvements in the economy. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofori-Atta, acknowledged concerns that some traders and businesses are not passing on economic gains to consumers. She, however, explained that the government will not resort to price controls. Instead, it plans to implement measures that encourage businesses and traders to reflect economic improvements in their pricing.
You will see that prices are generally good, but the issue of demand and supply and scarcity has affected two brands, and even those ones, they promised to do something about it. And I said I was going back to the market in March. I'm not sending anybody. I'm going there in March. And also, usually before I do anything, I would have done the preparation ready to take off before I announce it. We can't do price control because, you see, price control comes with its own negative effect. It gives way to hoarding and prices will rather escalate. But I want to do some kind of transparency where we hide it. So if a price of just one item in one big market has not changed to reflect the reality, I think it's not a good enough reason for us to say that prices have not reduced.
You heard Elizabeth Ofori-Atta, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Meanwhile, the Traders Advocacy Group has formally petitioned President John Dramani Mahama to approve a 50% reduction in import duties on commercial vehicles for licensed operators as part of efforts to strengthen Ghana's public transportation system. The call comes amid recent transport disruptions caused by congestion and operational challenges at major urban bus terminals, which have exposed capacity limitations within the public transport network. In an interview with Citi Business News, the group's General Secretary Nana Puku said the proposed duty reduction would ease entry costs for private investors.
As a matter of urgency, at least if they will not give, they should give a period of a window for private investors to import vehicles that are of commercial use into the country by slashing the import duty at 50%, so that it will incentivize them to bring more vehicles in to support the call on government to solve this problem. In the interim, if government is to say that, oh, let us start engaging companies that are assembling vehicles in Ghana, for them to put together a commercial type of vehicles that can be assessed by these private people, it is going to take a period of time.
Nana Puku is General Secretary of the Traders Advocacy Group. Now, importers and exporters say the postponement of the Smart Port Note will allow for further engagement on the policy, which is intended to modernize port operations and reduce inefficiencies. The decision was announced by the Ghana Shippers Authority in a public notice following concerns from industry stakeholders who called for broader consultations ahead of the rollout. There's more in the following report.
The authority said the decision was prompted by outstanding issues that require further clarification and alignment. The SPN, initially announced on December 23, 2025, was scheduled to take effect on February 1, 2026. According to the authority, the deferment is a cautious adjustment of one of its key port digitization initiatives. It is intended to allow for an additional round of stakeholder consultations to address operational, regulatory, and implementation-related concerns before the system goes live. In an interview with Citi Business News, the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobit, highlighted the significance of the postponement.
Messages all over the world, especially countries that are exporting into supplying goods to their buyers in Ghana here, have reached out to their buyers that there will be some little charge. That charge is likely to be passed on to the importer in the country. And so there was a meeting that was convened yesterday for us to discuss. When we look at the figures, some of the values was a little bit quite high, and so there was a need for us to defer and then reconvene again, and also bring people who are raising the issues in regards to the cost of it and so that we can all look at it.
The convener of the Coalition of Concerned Exporters, Importers and Traders, Michael Ofori-Atta, described the move as a step in the right direction.
The halt is so that we can all now meet as stakeholders and have proper conversations. So the end that we've seen GIF, ACHAG, FABAC, very key stakeholders, Exim Frozen Foods, very key stakeholders within the port community say that they are not for the SPN. At least it settles in our mind that there are very legitimate concerns that ought to be addressed. So when we engage the Shippers Authority, when they call for that stakeholder consultation, I'm very clear in my mind that we'll be able to make the point forcefully why we do not need SPN, or if anything, shape the policy better.
Michael Ofori-Atta is convener for the Coalition of Concerned Exporters, Importers and Traders, ending the report filed by Daniel Odro-Mensah. Well, that's all for the Wednesday's edition of Citi Business News. On Eyewitness News, I am Melody Fafa. But to up next is Point Blank.
Hey, is it my TV or my eyes? Why? If you say everything clear past my future.
Charlie, it's not your eyes, it's the TCL C6K QD Mini LED TV.
With QD Mini LED technology, you get deep blacks, bright highlights, and colors so real. See, even the referee's board head, they shine.
Movies, football, gaming, every detail sharp like a new razor blade.
If your old TV they show bleh bleh, Charlie, it's time to upgrade.
Visit any Electroland Ghana shop for yours and enter the ongoing Achedia promo. TCL C6K QD Mini LED TV. TCL, inspire greatness.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Momo. It has made life happen in lots of good ways.
Mr. Kwanzaa, Minsaka insurance claim no.
It has put together beautiful weddings. It has filled the bellies of boys at their favorite wachi joint.
My guy, stop. Who they chop cancel these days?
It has made millions of businesses possible.
Minsaka no. We are back in business.
With just a few taps, money moves faster, easier, and safer. Momo understands the weight of your trust in us. We continuously enhance security with features like self-paying research to help you protect your money. Momo will only call you with 0244 300,000. No MTN or Momo staff will call or ask for your PIN or one-time password. Do not transfer funds to anyone whose identity you have not verified. Do not approve any prompts you have not initiated. Momo, still Wunsaka.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. I am Sami Biafe. Tonight we go to the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA. Because the IEA has carried out a survey which says that 58% of Ghanaians believe President John Dramani Mahama or Ghana is headed in the right direction under President John Dramani Mahama. 34% disagree and 8% unsure. Tonight we get details of this survey that was carried out by the Institute of Economic Affairs. And let's speak to Samuel Menu. He's the survey team leader, joining us on the phone on this matter. Mr. Menu, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Could you just tell us how did you arrive at this conclusion, sir?
Good evening, Sammy, and also to all your listeners as well. Let me start by saying that the IEA conduct frequent surveys, right? We do polls on socio-economic and governance issues. And for this particular poll, it was conducted in December 2025, that is between the 20th and the 28th, interviewing about 1,000 people across the whole of the Ghana, all 16 regions of the country. And of course, there are a number of questions in the survey, but we are serializing them. And for this one, the topical one is that 58% of Ghanaians, the people we interviewed, said that they are happy with the way things are going, which means they think the country is headed in the right direction.
And is it face-to-face interview or telephone interview? How was the interview conducted?
It was an online interview using a random sampling method. Right? We had a database of people across the country, structured them to ensure that they are representative of the voice of Ghanaians across all the regions, and we do the online interview drawing from that huge database.
And what questions were asked before this conclusion? Specifically, if you want to tell us some of the questions you asked.
So for this particular one, we specifically put the question to them, asking that, are you happy with the way things are going in the country? And then, of course, to determine you're happy as a person, you would have to consider so many issues, right? You have to consider economic issue, you have to consider governance issue, and the response we got was that 38% of the people said they were happy.
And the 34%, they disagree, right?
38% disagree, right? I mean, it also tells us that there is a significant minority of the people who disagree, right? Because if you have 38% of the people thinking that the country is not headed in the right direction, and as much as most think that the country is headed in the right direction, that significant minority disagreeing means that there are serious issues that the government must urgently address in order to bring everyone on board as to where the country is headed, right? So it is good news, but it is not the brightest of news, because a lot of people still think that there are issues the government must address, right? And I'm sure that in the subsequent releases, we are going to tease out a lot of the issues that came out of the survey.
But at least give us an idea some of the issues they believe the government must still address.
It will come up in the subsequent publications, but what is unemployment guarantee is also another issue. So I guess you are getting this as a breaking news for the next release.
But in your conversation with them, what are some of the indicators they have seen to show that indeed the country is headed for the right direction?
Yeah, so I think in the year 2015, as a country, we have experienced significant changes, right? Of course, the new government comes with hope, right? So some people may feel that a new government is coming with hope. But more importantly, we experience improved economic conditions. We've experienced stable prices. Now we are even talking about fuel station prices, the price war between gold and oil. I want to price lower, right? And all these, I believe, affect the sentiment of the people, Ghanaians, and more importantly, consumers, right? We've also looked at we've also experienced lower interest rates. Now you see that the banks are pricing their loans at at a reduced interest rate compared to 2024. Talking about the exchange rate issue, right? The exchange rate issue has also featured. I'm sure that has also contributed significantly to the reduction in inflation. So, looking at all these issues, we at the IE believe that the key thing that is driving this positive feedback by Ghanaians is the economic indicators. But in the years ahead, I'm sure when the real issue of unemployment and galamsey hits people, that is where the government must focus on addressing this issue in order to keep this positive momentum, in the years ahead.
There are many who have argued that the first year of every administration looks positive. It's always been the argument, and they've cited, a number of governments under the Fourth Republic, and they say that the first year of every administration will record some positive. Once you also say that indeed, because it's the first year of the administration, that is why you are getting these indications or these indicators that the government is doing well.
Well, it's true that the first year of most administrations, I wouldn't say every administration, the first year of most administrations record significant economic stability, right? But I believe that this time around, it has gone beyond the normal economic stability to significantly improved economic indicators, right? So, of course, we are talking about 5% inflation, something we've seen in perhaps over a decade or a very long time ago, right? And also reduction in prices of basic goods and services, maybe because of the exchange rate, and that we import more. And we are talking about a 38%, or I think 32 or 38% appreciation of the currency, something that we've seen, perhaps never seen, or we've seen in a very long time in the history of the country, right? So this particular first year is unique, it's significant, right? So I wouldn't say it is the fluke of the first year of every administration. I wouldn't put it that way. I think it has gone beyond the normal economic stability we experience in the first year of most administrations.
In your interaction with them, and from the outcome, is there the belief that, or are they very hopeful that this trend of positivity will continue? Did you get that in the response?
We didn't ask them about that. So I think this year, one of the surveys we are going to do, we are just settling into this year, right? So one of the questions we are going to do, we are going to ask the people is what they think the year will be like, the hope, right? But I think that if people think we are headed in the right direction, it also signifies hope, right? But we did not ask them specifically what they hope for this particular year.
The sample size of 1,022. A lot of people will say that, with a population of 33 million Ghanaians and a sample size of 1,022, given this indication, how would you have people say that the sample size may relatively be too small for us to come to this conclusion?
Yeah, statistically, I understand this concern on a normal basis, but nowadays, with the availability of data, you are able to sample properly such that you don't need too many people to come to conclusions when it comes to surveys, right? So they will say a survey is just a blood sample. You just take a blood sample and test the whole blood, right? If you take the sample right, you will get the exact reflection of the people. And let me say that CNN and other Pew and other surveys, right? They have about, I think, I'm looking at America's population. CNN can do a survey of 1,000 people, and they still get the predictions right. So it's more about the method, how you structure your method, how you're able to identify the people, and ensuring that the people that respond is representative of the population that you are dealing with, which is the people of Ghana across the 16 regions.
You said there are 16 regions and 1,022, responded. Is there a breakdown of how many from each region? Do you have that data?
Yeah, we do, but it's not published yet.
You kind to share with us, or that one will come in the next release?
Maybe in the next time we will detail our methodology, sharing that also with you.
And when is this new one you talk about, the next release? When is this coming?
Be on the lookout. In about a week or so, you see it.
and what will be the target for that one? Now we know this for this particular one, it was the economic indicators. So the next one, what would the focus be?
I mean, let's all wait for it. I know you would like to hear it, but let's all wait for it. You know, a lot is going on, right? And of course, the study we've done already, but a lot is going on. So let's all wait for it. I've already given you a teaser of a few of the issues that may come up in the next day. So let's just wait for it. It's going to be a bigger one, and I promise you.
A bigger one, you say?
Yes, the outcome is going to be a bigger one of much more interest than this.
Okay. Sam, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Samuel Menu is a survey team lead of the Institute of Economic Affairs. They carried out a survey that says that 58% of Ghanaians believe the country is headed for the right direction. 34% disagree. 8% unsure. A sample size of 1,022 responded. And this survey was done between 20th and 28th of December 2025. According to the IEA, key economic indicators give out these results. The IEA says a significant decline in the debt to GDP ratio from 61.8% at the end of December 2024 to 45% by the end of October 2025. It also says a reduction in the average lending rate cost of borrowing from 30.2% to 22.2% over the period, and the gradual recovery from the effect of the domestic debt exchange program on citizens. And this culminated in the results we are seeing, which says that 58% of Ghanaians believe Ghana under President John Dramani Mahama is headed for the right direction. And this is our wrap up today's edition of Eyewitness News. That came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Uyafi, show produced by Bevelin Dallin, Kwabla Wilson, and Juliana Odami. Technical assistant Desmond Nyakon. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.